Hello, Bethany, and welcome to your November yoga. We're going to get started with a meditation. So let's take a moment to get settled, and we'll meet you on your back. And as you settle in here, take a few moments to recognize the initial stressors that are keeping you away from this practice. So a lot of times when I sit down to meditate, my brain says, "Ooh, but you could be doing this, or maybe you should do this instead." And that's just a trick. So take a moment, acknowledge those things on the to-do list. They are important, and there is enough time, and you will get to them. But first, you will meditate. And as these things are popping up in your brain, take some deep breaths. Just beginning to let the nervous system relax. And I want you to let go of any of that to-do list. Trust yourself that you'll get it done after this meditation. On your next exhale, press out all of the air from your belly, pulling the belly button closer to the spine. And then inhale the belly out like a balloon. You might even have an arch in the low back. And then exhale again, pulling the belly button in, pressing out the air. And do this a couple more times. And then I want you to shift your attention to your eyes. If they're not already, softly close them. And if that feels like too much surrender right now, just work on not focusing on anything. And behind your mind's eye, I want you to acknowledge all that's around your physical space. You've been in this room before. Is there a table? Maybe there's a weight bench, a certain pattern on a rug. I want you to take the time to acknowledge that even if we can't see something, it can still exist. And I want you to take that understanding that even if we can't see things, they exist. And plunge that understanding deep into your belly where you were breathing just a minute ago. And this is a different type of understanding that we're going to internalize. This time we are internalizing the trust in ourselves. We cannot see our trust. and yet it can be real. Trusting yourself deep in the pit of your belly to accomplish everything you want to accomplish. And acknowledging that maybe those accomplishments won't happen in the exact moment that you want them to. So we're just building inside right now a little nest of trust. For me personally, I notice when I'm anxious or stressed, it's because I'm not trusting myself or my partner or the universe. And I want you to imagine deep in your belly, what does that nest of trust look like? And it doesn't have to be a nest. Maybe for you, it's a warm fire. Just let some sort of imagery that speaks to you build within. I want you to think about why that imagery is speaking to you. So for me, a nest speaks to me because we hold important, fragile things in there, like baby bird eggs. And for me, sometimes my trust is fragile. And so I want my trust to be protected. Thinking about every little branch that's been brought together to create this safe place for my trust to grow. And again, using your imagery, think that through. Maybe it is a warm fire because that can kind of stoke the fire of trust. It can be a million different things. And then I want you to ask yourself, what is one area where you don't trust yourself? And this can sometimes be a very painful question. But if we don't identify the area, then we can't grow the trust. And once you have identified an area where you could improve upon your trust of yourself, I want you to begin that deep belly breathing again, where the belly expands out and then contracts down and in. So you're fanning the flames of your trust through your breath. And maybe you create a mantra as you breathe, saying exactly, I trust myself too. And then fill in the blank for you in your journey right now. And as you're breathing, you might notice maybe your initial mantra doesn't feel right. Maybe a word needs to be tweaked or changed. Or maybe it landed perfectly the first time. And if it feels right to you, place your hands, one on the upper belly, one on the lower belly, and just feel the belly rise and fall. Keep repeating your mantra. Let it become real in your belly. And if it doesn't feel real yet, use your breath, use your mantra, repetition, over and over. And if you're starting to feel like your belly believes that you are capable of this task, inhale it so that way you're breathing in this trust of yourself all the way down to your toes and up to your head. There is no rush. We have time here to try this on. And keep breathing here in any manner that makes your body feel nourished. Allowing yourself the opportunity to be kind and gentle with yourself, just as you might a small child who's learning a new task. Because really the trust in ourselves can at times be a new task. And allowing this trust to become your safe space. And that way, as you move on through your day and your month, you come back to whatever this image is deep within you. I want you to send all of your attention into that image one last time. Perhaps you are sitting inside the cocoon. You are the one in the bird egg. Whatever image you have, let yourself envision your physical being in the center of that space, right? In the fire and yet unburned. And just stay in that space, whatever it is for you. Just hug yourself into it. Take a big full inhale in. Fill every cell with oxygen. And sigh. And I want you to gently come back to the here and now with small movements. We are trusting that deep within us, that self-trust is there. We are relying on ourselves. Everything you need to do can be accomplished. Give yourself space and grace. Make your way up and out of your reclined position. And it's super okay to do these at night before bed, but really the best time to meditate is in the daytime, in the morning, setting the tone for the day. But whenever you can do it, we'll take all wins. As you're sitting up, sit up nice and tall, activating your lower belly so it is supporting your nest of trust, your cocoon of trust, whatever it is you have. Inhale your hands to heart center. The place in me that is working on self-trust acknowledges that place in you. And together, may we live without anxiety. Namaste. Thank you so much for your energy and your space, and I hope that you find less stress.